We do this video every single year. We are predicting the 2025 NBA playoffs, and just to let you guys know, I am filming this right before the first couple play-in games. To be honest though, I always predict the play-in and yet they have no actual impact on the actual playoffs itself, so I'm not even gonna predict the play-in just to let you guys know. There's really not that much that I want to say in the intro, so let's just hop right into the predictions. Starting off in the Western Conference, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the to-be-determined 8 seed. Look, I don't have a whole lot I want to say. OKC is going to win. OKC has been such a dominant team this year, and quite frankly, there are very few teams in the Western Conference that I actually think can beat OKC. And I definitely don't think it's going to be a team that's fighting for a play-in spot. So if I had to predict, I'd say OKC wins in about 5 games. I don't think they'll sweep. It's the first round of the playoffs. You got to figure things out, but I do think they're going to win in 5 games. Next up, we have the Denver Nuggets versus the Los Angeles Clippers. If you were to ask me like 2 months ago, I might have said the Nuggets, but the LA Clippers, man, they've been one of the hottest teams of basketball this year. Also, it doesn't help that Denver is currently in the middle of a downward spiral. I mean, for some reason last week, they fired their head coach for a reason I still can't understand. I know some people might say, oh, he lost the locker room. Oh, he wasn't doing as well. But you fire him a week before the playoffs? Like, what are you doing? Surely he couldn't have lost the locker room that bad considering other players were just as shocked. And it's not just because Denver is going through a struggle, but again, LA, and I'm talking about the Clippers here, have been so good this year. So I'm gonna say the Clippers win in about 6 games. Also, shout out to my boy Alvini, Linguini, Tortellini, Mussolini. Again, this is gonna be a very quick series to move past, but I have the Lakers winning. The Lakers have been hot this year. Luka's been doing his thing. Bron's been doing his thing. I mean, who's surprised? That's our LeGoat James. And Minnesota, they just haven't been what everyone thought they were going to be. I mean, who knew trading, Karl Anthony Towns for Julius Randle wasn't going to be a good idea? And this is not even me trying to disrespect Minnesota, but for one, I just don't think that was a good trade, and number 2, I just think LA is so much better. And if I had to give my prediction, I guess I would say you can give me Chick-fil-A, 2 for 1 is gay, San Jose, Lakers in 5. And finally, in the first round, we have the Houston Rockets versus either the Warriors or the Grizzlies. Again, I don't have too much to say. I think Houston is going to win. Houston in 5. I'm not trying to disrespect the Warriors or the Grizzlies, but I think Houston is just too damn dominant. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. Now, starting in the East, we have the 1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers versus the to-be-determined 8 seed, which again, Cleveland in 4. Cleveland is such a damn dominant team, and I don't care who they play. There is not a team in the Eastern Conference that is fighting in the play and that I think could even get a game off of Cleveland. Next up, we have a tough one. We have the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. It's funny, 4 and 5 seed matchups are usually ones where you can go either way, and I want to say the same thing about the series, but something is telling me that Milwaukee is just going to dominate to try and send a message. Despite the Bucks not having Damian Lillard for an unknown amount of time, I still think they're going to win. I think Giannis is going to go off, and I think he's going to carry Milwaukee against this Indiana team. I like Indiana as a team, I do. I just think Milwaukee is better, and I don't think their seed really represents how good they truly are. So with that being said, I got the Bucks in like 6. Next up, we have the New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. My heart wants to say the Detroit Pistons, but I just don't think that's going to be the case. I think New York is the better team, and I think New York has shown that they have potential to make a deep run in this year's playoffs. Again, it sucks because I like Detroit. I'm glad they're finally back in the playoffs, and I would love to see them go on a run. But unfortunately, New York is just so much better, so I got the Knicks winning in 6. And finally, for the final matchup in the first round, we have the Boston Celtics versus the Orlando Magic. The game just ended right now. I mean, like I said earlier, it really doesn't matter. I got Boston winning in like 4 games. I'm not confident in Orlando to beat this team. I like Orlando. They're a solid team, but this is just not the year, especially not versus Boston. So Boston in 4, y'all. We then move on to the semifinals. Now, last time I started in the West, so I'm going to start in the East this time. Our first semifinals matchup, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Listen, I like Milwaukee. While I think they're going to go on a run, I think this is where the run stops. I just think that Cleveland is too much of a complete team. I don't really see that many teams being able to step to Cleveland, and I don't think Milwaukee is one of those teams that can do so. So the Cleveland Cavaliers are probably going to win in about 5 games. Next up, we have the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks. I think New York had a great season this year despite them struggling. struggling a little bit throughout the season. I think they got better as time went on, but I just don't think they're on Boston's level. I think Boston is on a mission this year. They won the finals last year, they're looking to repeat, and I think they have a pretty solid path to do so. I'm not trying to disrespect New York, but I just like Boston better. Now I will say there's a small possibility that this is a good series, maybe to 6 or 7, but I do think that Boston is going to end up the winner and they're going to meet the Cleveland Cavaliers in the conference finals. All right, so going back to the Western Conference, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm going to keep this very short and sweet. I think the Thunder are going to win and I think they're going to dominate. The Clippers, they had a good run, but the Thunder are just straight up better. And I know it just seems like, oh, I'm picking the 1 or 2 seeds, but I need you guys to understand that these teams have just been really dominant this year. In fact, I've been saying this entire season how much I like OKC, and I just don't think that the Clippers are going to be the team to stop them. So yeah, the Thunder are going to win in about 5, maybe 6 games. And finally, to wrap up the semifinals, we have what I think is going to be arguably the best matchup of the entire semifinals, and that's the Houston Rockets and the Los Angeles Lakers. You know, this might surprise some people because I was very hot on Houston to start the year, but I'm gonna go with the Lakers, and I need you guys to hear me out. The Lakers have been hot over the past couple months, you know, obviously because they have Luka, but straight up, they've been a great team this year. And while I think Houston's great, I just don't think Houston is ready to take that next step to make the conference finals. Houston on paper should win this series, but something is telling me that the Lakers are going to win. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Luka, maybe it's Bron, maybe it's just the fact that, you know, LA has more experience, but something is telling me that the Lakers are going to win this series. I do think it's going to go to 7 games, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised, but yeah, I got the Lakers winning in 7. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are in the conference finals, the final 4, whatever you guys want to call it. And really quick, I just want to say, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, then leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're trying to hit 30,000 subscribers on this channel, so if you guys want to be a part of history, then just subscribe, y'all. And if you guys don't enjoy the content, you can unsubscribe at any time. Now back to the predictions. I'm going to stay in the Western Conference. We have the OKC Thunder and the Los Angeles Lakers. You know, as much as I was talking good about LA, and as cool as it would be to possibly see, you know, a Celtics and Lakers finals, which is possible, I just think that OKC is the better team. I think this is the year that OKC finally makes it to the NBA finals. Now LA, they have a couple more years, you know, to get better and try to make it back one more time with Bron, but I'm just telling you, I think this is OKC's year. I honestly believe the only thing holding OKC back from making the finals is an injury, and really it would only have to be like an injury to Shea, because no disrespect, but if J-Dub went down for, let's say, I do think OKC could still win, but I think it would take just a really big injury for me to not pick OKC to make the finals. I said they were going to do it last year, I got clowned, but they were pretty close. But yeah, I think the Thunder are gonna win in like, let's say 6 games. And finally, to wrap up the conference finals, we have the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I know I said earlier that there weren't many teams that I thought could actually beat Cleveland, but Boston is one of those teams. I find Cleveland in this interesting category of teams where they're the 1 seed, they dominated for so long, but I just don't know if they're quite ready to make the finals. I think Boston is looking to repeat, and I know it's difficult to repeat in the NBA, we obviously know that. I think Boston is one of those teams that could possibly do it. It's funny because Cleveland's a really complete team, Boston's a really complete team, but I just think Boston is going to get the edge. And I hope I'm wrong because I like this Cleveland team. I want to see him do well. And I think it's going to be a close series, but I have the Boston Celtics winning in 7 games. I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to have the series of their life, and Donovan Mitchell, I could see him folding in the last 2 games. No disrespect, but I just don't think this is Cleveland's year. No disrespect, I just don't think this is Cleveland's year. So yeah, Boston in 7 games. And finally, we have made it to the NBA Finals where I have the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Boston Celtics. You know, it's funny, I actually went back and I saw a predictions video that I made literally on day 1 of the NBA season, and I had predicted this exact outcome was going to happen. I said the Thunder and the Celtics were going to meet in the finals, and in that video, I said that Oklahoma City was going to win. And I'll be honest, I think Boston does have a better team. I think Boston overall, they are just screaming to me that they are one of the teams that could repeat, you know, as finals winners. But there's something telling me that OKC is going to finally do it. I feel like this is their year. I think Shea is going to win the MVP, which it's looking like it's going to be true. I think OKC is going to get what they deserve. So I have the Oklahoma City Thunder winning in 6 games. Shea wins finals MVP and his aura blast over everyone.